Hi there, it's Melissa Allman with Mega Bliss Real Estate. And if you're watching this video, I will assume that you've already been through the pre-approval process. If you haven't, we have a video specifically on all of that. If you have not been, I also have lenders available, so that is a great resource for you. Now that you're pre-approved, we can start shopping, and this is the really fun part. We will set you up on a portal through MLS. Zillow, Redfin, all these other sites are great, but MetroList, MLS, is a tool specifically for real estate agents that we pay for. And the really great thing about that is we can set you up with a price point. So whatever your pre-approval price is, I like to give you a range so that we can see everything that's on the market between the low end and the high end. I don't want to take you too far above your pre-approval price, especially depending on the market. When we are in a seller's market, prices are going to go over list price. So I want to show you things that are filtered specifically for you and in your area. Also in the portal, we can put multiple different zip codes or we can funnel it down. You also have control in the portal to create your own. So we will also put things in that are your specific criteria. So number of bedrooms, number of bath, if a 2-car garage is important to you. If you're in the midtown, downtown area, you know garages are hard to come by. So those are specific things that you and I will talk about and create a portal specifically for you. The other great thing about the portal is you will get an email once a day of all the actives that are in your market, in your criteria, and also it will show you what is pending and pending bring backup. What pending bring backup means is that the house has already been in contract, but they are looking for other people to continue to write offers in case the house falls out of escrow. Also, the nice thing about a portal is you can see how quickly the market is moving. If you see a house that you're interested in and 2 days later you see it's pending, the next time you see a house you're interested in, you're gonna get on the phone with me and you're gonna say, Melissa, I need to go see this house. Definitely always feel free to reach out to me. I can get in touch with the listing agent, see where we're at in the process, see if they have any offers. If they do, when are they reviewing offers? So we don't miss out on your opportunity. We will schedule a time to show you the property. So if it's vacant, we have more flexibility. Sometimes it is appointment only. And if it's tenant occupied, they need 24 hours notice. It is the law. So just be willing to know that we have certain timelines that we work with. I also love to be able to show you multiple houses at the same time to capitalize on your time and mine as well. Okay. So we found the house that you want to write an offer on. Super exciting time. So what we do is we put the offer together. I will talk with you about what I think is a good offer. Now, depending on the market, we will need to fluctuate on some things, but I always talk with the listing agent and have that constant line of communication open so that I know if there are other offers, try to get from them what the range is so that we can have a competitive offer. I also encourage you to write a personal note. These are very, very important. This is that human connection that we're able to have with the seller and let them know why they should choose your offer over someone else's. I've had clients get their offer accepted before and we weren't the highest price, but the personal letter set it apart and the seller wanted those clients to have their house and build memories in the house that they're selling because they have a connection with it as well. There's also title and escrow fees, city and county transfer tax. This is all part of the purchase agreement, also known as an RPA, residential purchase agreement. So in the RPA, there's things that we can ask for like refrigerators, washer and dryers, stoves are always included. So there are certain things that we'll do. Also, I always ask for the seller to provide a home warranty. This is really important. It's gonna be your first year in your new house and you're already gonna be making adjustments. So the last thing you want is your air conditioning or your heater to stop working or your dishwasher or your garbage disposal And so we have a home warranty that's in place. We ask the seller to pay for that. There's a small deductible that you pay. Fidelity is one of the companies that I use often, and they come out and replace or repair your appliance. And this is a really nice peace of mind piece that you have. And then if you want to continue further, you just renew it after the first year until you decide you don't want it. So once we've finished the offer, there is a part on the form where we allow the seller to have 3 business days to accept our offer or to counter. Sometimes in a fast-moving market, I will only give them 24 hours to accept our offer, because if they don't accept it, we need to move on and look at maybe your number 2 house on your list. There's different ways that they can respond to our offer. They can either accept it, which is always the best option, right? Then they can also counter the offer either by price or maybe terms. Typically it's a 30-day escrow, but maybe they need a little bit longer. Maybe they need a shorter escrow. So those are things, every transaction's a little bit different, but I wanted to give you kind of a summary of how this process works. So in a multiple offer situation, they can either accept our offer, they can do a multiple counter. If there's multiple offers, they can just do like the highest amount. They could ask for a highest and best offer, or they can just not accept our offer, which if that happens, then that means there's another house out there for you. And I'd be more than happy to continue to work with you until we find your perfect house. So once we get our offer accepted, we have a fully executed contract. Everybody, all the parties involved have signed it. We then, at that point, have 3 business days to get your earnest money deposit check into escrow. And I'll explain that to you. So earnest money deposit is generally 1% of the purchase price. That is a check, cashier's check, or money order, no credit card. The earnest money deposit goes into escrow. Escrow holds onto it. They do cash it, so make sure it's a good check. So the next step is the inspection process. The inspections are super important. I recommend that all my clients have a home inspection, a pest inspection, a roof inspection, and a pool inspection if there is a pool. The home inspection is really important. Those usually run about $350, and that would be the responsibility of the buyer to pay. The pest inspection, they check for dry rot, fungus, gross. They also check for termites. You definitely want to make sure that you have a solid home. That usually runs between $99 and $115. The roof inspection is free. The company that I use, they request certain repairs, and the idea is if we use them, then it's included with the free inspection. So that's always good to know. What we do at that point is we go over, once we receive all of the reports back, you and I will sit down and go over all of the reports. We'll look at everything, see what's most important to you that needs to be repaired. And then we go to sit down and write out like a request for repairs. It is a part of the contract. And we're gonna ask for the seller, if it's like A to Z, maybe we pick like A to D, that these are the most important things to you. So I will write that out into a contract, you sign it, we send it over to the listing agent, they review it with the seller, and if the seller agrees to A through D, great. If there are certain things they want to negotiate on, then we at that time will take it from there and see how we want to move forward with that. Say there is, there's no perfect house, but say there is something that is major that comes up through one of the inspections and the seller isn't going to take care of it. Maybe it's an as-is house. Then at that point, you have the option to walk away from this property. And you're within your right, you're within your contract to do that. And if you do that, you do get your earnest money deposit back. With that being said, hopefully that doesn't happen and we're able to come to great terms and we get those, A through D items fixed and we're moving on. Also, there is what is called the inspection contingency period. So during those inspections, we have 17 days to get all of our inspections done and to get the request for repairs done and have a solution for that. Once that's done, there is a contingency removal process. So we are letting them know that, yes, we are removing contingencies for inspections. The next part of the contingency is the loan contingency. That's a 21-day time frame. So in that 21 days, there's an appraisal that's done on the home. And then with an appraisal, they look at the comps in the area, see what has sold, and they will do a comparative market analysis of what the comps look like. Say the other house in the neighborhood has an updated kitchen, or yours has a pool and that one doesn't. So they adjust for like, and that's how they come up with an appraised value. The appraised value is very important because say we're in contract for $515,000. The appraisal comes back at $520,000. Great, you have $5,000 worth of equity. Say it comes back at $510,000. Uh-oh, that means that we're $5,000 less appraised value than our purchase price. So there's a couple things that can happen with that. First and foremost, I would go to the listing agent and say, hey, we need to renegotiate because the market is dictating that this home is only worth $510,000 and we're in contract for $515,000, and see if we can get it negotiated down to $510,000. If that doesn't work, and you have $5,000 cash that you want to make up the difference, that can definitely happen too. I don't really advise negative equity in a home, but if you really, really want this home, the market has its ebbs and flows, and it's something that does happen. But just know that the bank is only going to lend on that $510,000 in this example. There's also the loan contingency aside from the appraisal, and that means that your lender has gone through desk underwriting, he's gone through, or he or she, they've gone through all of your paperwork, make sure that there isn't any issues. I have had a situation where somebody co-signed for their parent on a piece of property, and that was something that they caught in underwriting. So we just want to make sure that everything's clear, no issues, and then once we get the approval through the lender that everything is going to go smoothly, then we're able to clear out that loan contingency period. So you've got the 17-day inspection period, the 21-day loan and appraisal period. Once we've removed contingencies on those things, you're not getting an earnest money deposit back. So it's very important that we do those things. At that point, everything should be moving like super smoothly. We should be getting close to the closing table, and that's not an issue because you're super excited that you're going to be getting keys soon to your house. So the time has come and you are ready to sign documents at title. Once you sign documents at title, there is a 3-day cooling off period that we have in California. So you can change your mind within those 3 days. Normally you wouldn't do that, but it's an option. So it's good to know that when you are signing documents at title, that does not mean that you get keys. We have a 3-day period that we have to wait for keys. The next part is you and I do the final walkthrough before this funds to make sure that if there's any staging that's in the house, that's been removed and that everything looks the way it did when we did our walkthrough initially. Also, if somebody is living in the home and then we see it with everything moved out, we want to make sure that there isn't anything that is out of the norm and that the condition is the same as when we had seen it last. So there is verification of property condition that we sign and say we're good to go. Then the bank funds on the loan. I get an email from title that the loan has funded. I send you an email, send you, a call or a text and let you know. And then the next part is being on record. And that is something that is done through the county. Title works with county, make sure that, everything's good to go on that. And once we're on record, I will call you, and that is when we will set up a time that day for you to get keys to your home. How amazing is that? So, this is the process that we go through from start to finish. So, finding out what you're pre-approved for, starting the shopping process, going through, writing an offer, getting our offer accepted, putting in an earnest money deposit, then doing our inspections, making sure that everything is good with the house. If we need an electrician or a plumber to come out, that gives us time to get those done within those 17 days. The appraisal needs to come in at or above the purchase price. The lender, they need to let us know that they've gone through everything in underwriting and everything's clear. Oh, also, the employment verification is something that they do in the beginning when you're getting pre-approved. It is also something they do at the end before you close, before they fund. They want to make sure that you're still employed with your employer. Also, they will check your credit again. So it's super important through this whole process that you don't buy a new car. You don't co-sign for anybody on a vehicle or on a house. You don't change your job. That's super, super important. There's just a lot of do's and don'ts, and I can definitely be a resource for you and give you a PDF and fill you in on all that. So they check things before and right before we close. So it's just really good to keep doing what you're doing. If your credit score is up there, you want to maintain it and keep everything the way it is so that there's no issues and we're able to close on time. And ultimately, the goal is for you to get your keys and just be super thrilled. I'll be there with you every step of the way. Also, after the transaction, I don't go away. You and I build this relationship over this time. I may see you not at your best. Hopefully you'll still see me at my best, but things can get a little stressful. But that's, super important to have a real estate agent that's, a little zen and to keep you, as level as possible through this process. I do know that it is not like buying a pair of shoes. It is a big decision, and you have my full support. And you're always, welcome to reach out to me at any time. Communication is really big for me, and being in communication with the lender and with you and making sure that everything is going smoothly through this process. So I would be honored to work with you and help you get into the next chapter of your life and to get your keys, and also be a resource to you after, and also send you some client appreciation every so often. I love staying in touch with my clients, and most of them turn into friends. So if you have any questions, I would love to hear, and you can also comment below, and I will chat with you later. Bye.